Hello and welcome to Good Clean Gaming. I'm your host, Jalindo, and today we're playing some Galactic Civilizations 3 and a battle royale between all the different races, the very biggest fleets I can assemble, and you guys are going to see just what kind of craziness I can create in a battle viewer. So, yeah, you'll see what we're going to do is we're going to do a single elimination tournament, and so we're going to pit each race's biggest fleets against each other. Whoever wins moves on to the next round, and I rebuild their fleet so that it's a fair fight and we don't have to deal with attrition or anything. And then we're going to see who is the ultimate fleet race in this game. I'm guessing it's going to be the Dringen, but that's just my guess. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to the fights. All right, in our first matchup, we have the Terran Alliance versus the Dringen Empire. We have 16 ships on each side. The Terran is bringing to the table the Titan, the Fortress, the Avatar, and the Dreadnought as their huge class ships. And they also are bringing two large ships, the Overlord and the Battleship. And the carriers are also bringing assault fighters, so we have those out in front. Versus the Dringen Force, what do you have on the Dringen side? We have the Pain Dozer, the Flesh Ripper, the Assailer, the Bone Grinder, the Skull Crusher, the Stalker, and the Torturer. So, we also have fighters in the front, the Assailers. So, you can see which one of these races is built for warfare, I think. We're going to watch one, we're going to watch the first of the first round is going to be on cinematic, and then we're going to watch a replay on top downs for those of you who want a more objective view of what's going on. So let's get this started. Beautiful. I love the cinematic view in this game. It's great. It looks like so far it's pretty even. The Terran have lost one ship already. Oh, it's still even. Nope, Terran are dropping like flies here. 9 ships left on the Terran side, 8. This carrier is taking a pounding. 6 left. Oh, one of the Dringen fell. There went that carrier. There went another ship. 6 to 10 now. 6 to 9. They're making a comeback a little bit. 5 to 9. Maybe not. Oh, there goes another one. 4 to 9. Looks like the Terran are going to drop this time. The Dringen are definitely the favorites in this tournament, but you know, the Terrans are kind of the hometown heroes, and they have lost. So, Terran are eliminated. The Dringen move on. Nice. Let's do a quick replay. We'll do it top down so you can see all the action from a little further away. See if we can spot what went wrong for the Terrans. I'm guessing it's the fact that they're fighting the Dringen. That's just a guess there, though. I love they really improved the missiles the missile graphics. I remember an earlier beta view just had missiles flying every which way, and it's just weird. Just looked very weird. But now the way they got the missiles going now, it looks much more realistic. And those lasers are crazy. When all of them hit one ship, it's like they just glow blue. Man, Dringen just kind of overpowered him. I don't think there's anything else to it. Dringen are kind of built for this kind of stuff. There you go. Dringen ended with... They did twice as much damage as the Terrans. They only lost half as many units. They fired more shots. They had more HP at the end because there's no more Terrans. And attack and defense were roughly equivalent. So you can see how you know, I'm sure this could have gone the other way, but still, it's kind of interesting. You see the whole battle log down here and everything. But we won't go through all that. We'll push done. And I'll be right back with the next fight. In our next matchup, we got the Iconian Refuge versus the Yor Singularity. And if you recall from the plot line of this whole game, the Yor kicked the Iconian off their planet and took their homeworld. And so that's why Yor starts on Iconia and Iconian Refuge starts on New Iconia. So Little payback time. We got the Iconians have the impact they're bringing to the table. They're also bringing the earthquake. You can see the trend in some of these race ship names. They're bringing the rock carrier and a tsunami and a volcano. They're also bringing some large ships. They got the pebble carrier, the steep carrier M2NE1-1. They've got the rock fighter. They've got a slew of different ships, fighters like rock fighter, and they've got down here a pebble interceptor, and they've got more. They've got lots of ships. You can look at the top. This is the biggest fleet I was able to assemble for these two, and they got 37 and 35, and a lot of those are fighters, but still it shows you something. Over on the your side, looks like we've got these guys all have computer-based names for the ships. Mainframe, server, large ship, the bug carrier, another huge assert carrier, another large, the DPU carrier. We got some interceptors back here, the glitch drones. Here we've got the assert fighters. There we've got the bug interceptors. One here called the processor. This one over here is a CPU gen. This over here is a firewall. I think that's everybody. So we'll put this into cinematic view and enjoy the show. Will the Iconians be able to take back their homeworld, or will the Yor stomp them out for good? Find out right now. 30 to 30, 29-29. They're pretty even. Iconians are one less. Iconians seem to be losing a little bit. Now the Yor are behind. Oh, Yor dropping down. 22, 1. Man, this is really even. 19, 21, 18. So close, so close. 19, 18. This could go either way. Oh, Iconians are losing it. 13, 12, 10, 9. Yep, they're totally losing this one. Looks like the Yor have a bunch of big ships remaining. Iconians may just have fighters left. Yep, Iconians have lost. I'm seeing a trend here. The Dringen were evil, the Dringen won. The Yor are evil, the Yor won. Let's watch a little replay for the top down, folks. Come on, replay. You can do it. I know there's a lot of ships. You pretty much... This is about the largest... these are the largest fights I can put together. So, it's pretty performant, but when you have a lot of ships, it does take a while to load in. I've actually had a couple of, freezes a little bit. Kind of like what you just saw there, where it's just like it's trying so hard to load everything that it's having trouble. Isn't it pretty? All those blue lasers and the missiles. I'm just in kind of silent awe. Yep, there's some of the interceptors. There's that last carrier that's remaining, steep carrier. He should be going down shortly here. Oh, there he goes. And done. Alright, so the Yor win it. The Yor move on. They will probably face the Dringen unless I rearrange something else. I'm trying to do good versus evil, so if there's another good race that makes it out, they'll face the Dringen, but if not, the Yor will face the Dringen. So, alright. Well, hopefully, you'll see, we'll go right next to the next. Let me put my words together here. Hold on. Let me maneuver my sentences, and hopefully you'll see me come back with the next fight. Alright, cool. See you there. And for our next matchup, we've got the Altarians versus the Cren Syndicate, and this is kind of like our spiritual throwdown, because both of these races have kind of spiritual overtones to their classes, to their ships, I mean. So with the Altarians, we have Imminent Demise, the Altruistic Intent, we have the Violent Wind Caller, I think. onerous requirement. They have very long names, can't even see them all. And this one's the Ultimate Sunset. And then those are the huge, these are the large, they're the Light Wind Carrier. And we have the Dream Carrier. We also have a Firm Wind Fighter. We have a Violent Wind, and then we have a Light Wind. And so those are the different ships we have there. On the Cren side, we have the Toxin, the Poison, the Curse Carrier, the Venom, the Bane, the Beacon Carrier, and we have some fighters up front, Curse Fighters. I think that's all we have on the Cren side. It looks like a mismatch if you look at the top, because the Altarians, that's because the Altarians have more interceptors and fighters, so it throws the numbers off. But you see that the power levels are roughly the same. We can go to cinematic mode and let this show, get this show on the road. Whoa. And I would hate to be a fighter in any one of these battles, because you're right up front taking all the hits right at the beginning. It's kind of scary. Looks like the Cren are down to 12, the Altarians are down to 28. Cren are really taking a beating. I guess having the extra ships really really helps. Cren are down to 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 2, 1, 0. Wow, total domination by the Altarians. Impressive. Let's watch that again on the top-down view. See if we can see what's going on. Top-down view. And you see that the fleets look evenly matched. That's number of huge ships, number of large ships. The Altarians obviously have more fighters, but it doesn't look like the Cren are going to get totally stomped, you know. And yet, and yet they do. Man, look how deep these the fighters on the Altarian side, how deep they penetrate over here. I wonder how much they're distracting these larger ships by flying in like that, if they're taking hits for the bigger ships and stuff like that. I wonder how that's working. So 23 left, but I mean, only, what, like 3 big ships on the Altarians, so it's not like it was, yeah, it kind of was total domination, wasn't it? Alright, so the Altarians move on. The Altarians will face one of the evil races, either the Dring or the Yor. Yeah, we'll be right back with the next battle. See you then. And here's our next matchup. We've got the Thalen versus the Aridium Corporation. I'm a little surprised by the power difference here. I actually just went up to the total amount of power of logistics, and I found something weird. I found that, you know, even though these are both maxed out fleets, the Thalen are well more powerful than the Aridium, and I'm wondering if it's just the fighters that they have are considered much stronger. I mean, if you look at that, that's a pretty strong. That's a fighter that's coming out of a carrier. Wowzers! 168, 126. I haven't even looked at these. Versus the Aridium is 96 and 60. This feels overpowered, and there's a lot of them. So this might be this might be due for a balancing. I think the Glimpse fighter seems a little bit overpowered. Anyway, let's go ahead and see how this goes. The Aridium have the K class, B class, 4 series, the M class, and the Valette. They also have 2 large ones, the Spyros and the Salenta, and they have their 4 series assaults in the front. For the Thalen, we have the Inkling interceptors, the Glimpse fighters, which seem to be very overpowered for some reason. We have the Obligation. We have a Glimmer drone as well, several of those. We have the Tragedy, the Prophecy, the Inkling carrier, the Cataclysm, Glimpse carrier. See, that's the carrier that seems to be carrying all those awesome fighters that look to be overpowered. Here's the Calamity. And here's the Nightmare. So I don't know what's going to happen in this, but my new pick for the winner of this entire tournament is the Thalen. This is just wrong. how different this is. They're so small, but apparently they pack a huge punch. Look at that. They're already down to 4. That's not even fair. Aridium are my favorite race too, so this is kind of completely unfair. I believe that this fighter is not balanced properly. There are large ships that don't have that kind of power, and these are fighters. These are small ships. That's just insane. All right, so we will continue in the next episode with the next throwdown between the winners of all of these tournaments so far. It may be in the same episode. It may not be. You'll find out in about 3, 2, 1. All right, our semi-final round. We have the Altarians versus the Dringen. On the Altarian side, we have the same fleet as before. I believe the Ultimate Sunset, the Onerous Requirement, the Violent Windcaller, the Altruistic Intent, the Imminent Demise with a Occupied Glade and an Engaged Meadow, as well as the Violent Wind fighters there. On the Dringen side, we have the Pain Dozer, the Flesh Ripper, the Assailer with an extra S. I noticed there are a triple S Assailer there, the Bone Grinder and the Skull Crusher. And we also have 2 large ships, the Torturer and the Stalker, as well as the Assailer Fighter Squadron in the front. So let's go ahead and get things started. Whoa. So these Altarians, if you remember, defeated the Cren. The Dringen defeated the Terran. That's that fellow guy here. And wow, this is staying close here. 8-8, 8-7. Looks like the Dringen have nope, maybe the Altarians. The Altarians have higher power, but they're losing ships. I can't tell who's winning. 7-5. Oh, yeah, looks like the Dringen are winning this one so far. Oh, nope. Now they're dropping below again. This might come down to the last ship. 5-3, 4-3. Ooh. Anyone gonna be left at the end of this? 2-3. Looks like the Altarian have a slight advantage. 1-3. One more ship left, I think. Yep, Altarians have it. The early favorites in the tournament have been pushed out. The Altarians are gonna advance. Let's do a quick replay, top-down style, so you can see more of what happened. And the Altarians are doing a lot better than I thought they would. Don't they have like a... I thought for sure they had some kind of malice against their ships, but maybe I'm wrong. Can't believe the Dringen went down. I had the Dringen picked sure to go to the finals, if not definitely win. And then the Thalen are surprising. We saw those earlier. Surprisingly powerful. I'm gonna have to look at some of their ships and see what's going on with them. I will probably do that in the final round. See why they're so powerful before they completely destroy the Altarians, which I assume they're going to be facing. Wow. Okay, top-down view doesn't help when I can't actually see any of the ships. Here they come. Whoa. At some point, I thought, wow, the Dringen's going to beat the Altarians, and then they lost all their ships. So cool. That was a lot of fun. So Altarians advance, and the Dringen are defeated. The Altarians will face either the Thalen or the Yor, most likely the Thalen, after that semifinal round. So we're going to move on to the Thalen versus Yor match now. Be right back. All right, here's our next matchup. We got the Yor versus the Thalen. And I did a little digging around on why the Thalen are so powerful, and I found out something. I found out why, I think. and it seems to have to do with carriers. Carriers seem to be well overpowered in terms of how much power they deliver. So, you know, the Thalen had 2 extra carriers in the large class, and those were able to put out enough ships to deal out extra damage in front of those huge ships, and it just made all the difference. And that's why we have the Thalen being so overpowered. So for the final, I'm going to try to find a way to put the Altarian in a position where they can have a fair fight. So we'll see if that comes to anything. On the Thalen side, just a reminder, we have the Nightmare, we have the Calamity, we have the Glimpse Carrier, the Cataclysm, the Tragedy, the Inkling Carrier, and the Prophecy Carrier, as well as the Obligation. On the side, we also have all those fighters. On the side of the Yor, we have the CPU Gen, the Server, the Mainframe, the Bug Carrier, the Cert Carrier, the DPU Carrier, and the Processor. So let's go ahead and watch this. And I have a feeling that the Thalen will be winning this one as well. Wow, look at him go. I really don't think the Yorks stand a chance in this one. They're dropping like flies. I'm definitely going to have to put something fancy together for the Altarians to stand a chance. Man. It's gotta be those carriers. I gotta do some kind of anti-carrier stuff. Alright, there you go. The Thalen have defeated the Yor. The Altarians will face them in the final battle, and I'll try to get them ready for for fighter rating. You'll probably see that in a few seconds here. So, alright, let's get to it. Alright, the final battle is here. We have the Thalen versus the Altarian. I did my best to try to even the stakes a little bit. Gave the Altarians an extra carrier. But the difference is this. I mean, if you look at these, look at all those fighters, and look at how strong they are. They're 168 beam, 126 missile, and then 67 kinetic. Compare the equivalent Altarian fighter. You have a 96, 60, 48. It's just, they're just better. I am shocked. I feel like maybe the Thalen carrier fighters need to be balanced or something. I am using some debug commands to get these fleets together, so it's possible that I'm triggering something that isn't actually possible in the game. But if this is possible in the game, Thalen rock. That's all I'm saying. We'll put this on cinematic mode and we'll just get going. We know what fleets are which. There come the Thalen on the attack. It's just not even fair. I'm gonna definitely have to do some investigating to figure out if there's anything at all you can do to stop this kind of sleep from the Thalen. I wonder how high I can get the power level up if I just use all of those carriers. Alright. Pretty much cut and dry. Thalen win every time. So the Thalen won the tournament. Thalen is the top race as far as fleets are concerned. When you're building all unique ships and they're all the huge kind and you work your way down, Thalen seem to be stronger than the other races by far. What I'm going to do after this is I'm going to continue this by trying to put together a fleet using ships that stand the best chance of beating the Thalen. And I'm going to specifically target beating those carriers and see what I can figure out. So maybe we'll find a solution, or maybe Thalen are just that overpowered. So hope you'll join me for that one. It should be right after this, I think. Alright, see you there. Alright, and I'm back, and I've got something for the Thalen. I went ahead and made all carriers on the Altarian side violent wind carriers. They are huge, they're ginormous, and they carry a bunch of these fighters. And I have a feeling we're going to overwhelm the Thalen, because if you look at the power ratings over here, we have an overflow. What's an overflow? An overflow is when the number gets so big that it turns into a negative number. That's how bad this is going to be for the Thalen. We have 61 ships here. We'll put this in cinematic mode, but this is going to be hilarious. See if we can get a good view on the opposing ships. Oh. Oh. Oh, the insanity. Thalen do not want any of this. They're trying really hard. But it's just not even going to be close. Altarian's got this. Yep, they're just cleaning up now. So what lesson did we learn today? The lesson we learned today in Galactic Civilizations 3 is carriers rock. Carriers are awesome. Now, like I said, I did use debug stuff to get to these fleets, so it's possible that some debug command I used caused these fighters to be a lot more powerful than they normally are. I don't know how powerful they are in the game. I don't actually ever really get to this part of the game. It's usually over by the time these ships are available, so I don't really even pay attention. So yeah, Altarians won that one. So I know if I came back with the Thalen and I created their most powerful carrier, this means that they would wipe the floor with any fleet in the game right now, based on what I've got set up here. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see more stuff like this, if you want to see a bunch of small ships, if you want to see anything different, I'll be glad to set something up to show off the battle viewer in the game. So I hope you enjoyed this. And now I return you to your regular scheduled program. Feel free to check out my other Galactic Civilizations series. Feel free to pick up the game. There's probably going to be a link below in the description. And feel free to click that subscribe button if you're interested in seeing more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, keep it clean.